Now we're going to do Silver Age. This is the top 5 keys, how they started in the beginning of the year and where they ended at the end of the year. Let's see if they went up, stayed the same, or went down. Starting at number 1 is we got Amazing Fantasy 15, first appearance of Spider-Man. The first one to have a sale at the beginning of the year and at the end of the year was a 7.5. It is up 46%. It started the year at $117,000 and then ended the year at $170,844. The next one would be a 6.0, down 15%. Started the year at $78,000, ended the year at $66,000. A 5.0 was up 41%, starting the year at $49,500, ending the year at $69,601. Then we had a 4.5 up 16%, a 3.5 down 23%, a 3.0 up 16%, a 2.5 down 9%, a 2.0 down 48%, starting the year at $28,800, ending the year at $14,999. And then the next one would be a 1.0, ended the year down 15%. It started the year at $15,000, and then at the end of the year, the last sale for this book was $12,700. On average, 2023, it was up 1%, so that's good. A 7.5 was the biggest gain for 46%, and its biggest loss was a 2.0 at 48%. At number 2, we got Fantastic Four number 1. We had no 9.8 sales all the way down through a 7.0. The first sale where I had a sale at the beginning of the year and the end of the year, I need 2 sales, was at a 6.0. It started the year at $30,500, ended the year at $34,800. That is up 14%. A 5.5 was down 7%, starting the year at $32,400, ending the year at $30,000. A 5.0 up 23%, starting the year at $18,003, ending the year at $22,200. A 4.5 down 3%, a 4.0 down 2%, a 3.5 down 14%, a 3.0 down 20%, a 2.5 down 20%, a 2.0 up 21%, starting the year at $9,120, ending the year at $11,000. A 1.8 down 14%, a 1.5 up 4%, a 1.0 down 35%, and a 0.5 up 51%, starting the year at $4,494, ending the year at $6,800. On average, it was down 1% for Fantastic Four number 1. Its biggest gain was that 0.5 up 51%, and its biggest loss was a 1.0 at 35%. At number 3, we got Incredible Hulk number 1, first appearance of the Hulk. A 7.5 was the first one, down 22%, starting the year at $84,000, ending at $65,888. A 7.0 down 9%, starting the year at $63,000, ending it at $57,600. A 6.5 down 19%, a 6.0 down 28%, a 5.5 down 38%, a 5.0 down 19%, a 4.5 down 4%, a 4.0 down 8%, a 3.5 down 24%. Our first one going up was a 3.0, up 6%, starting the year at $16,800, ending at $17,761. A 2.5 up 14%, a 1.8 up 1%, a 1.5 down 12%, a 1.0 down 34%, a 0.5 down 12%. On average, this book was down 14%. Its biggest gain was up 14% for a 2.5. Its biggest loss was a 5.5 down 38%. At number 4, we got Amazing Spider-Man number 1, the start of the Amazing Spider-Man run and the second appearance of Spider-Man. The first one would be a 7.5, down 0%. It pretty much started where it ended, at $38,400, and it ended at $38,400. A 7.0, up 4%, starting at $30,000, ending at $31,011. A 6.5, up 11%. A 6.0, down 25%. A 5.5, up 31%, starting the year at $14,400, ending the year at $19,000. A 5.0, down 33%. A 4.5, down 17%. A 4.0, down 17%. A 3.5, up 1%. A 3.0, down 7%. A 2.5, down 28%. A 2.0, down 30%. A 1.8, down 1%. A 1.5, down 48%, starting the year at $8,488, ending the year at $4,440. A 1.0, up 9%, and a 0.5, down 36%. On average, it was down 12%. Its biggest gain was 31%, and that was a 5.5. Its biggest loss was a 1.5, down 48%. At number 5, we got Journey of Mystery 83. The first one would be a 7.0, down 16%. starting the year at 31,200, ending at 26,123. Next, we got a 6-0 down 2%, a 5-5 down 9%, a 5-0 down 11%, a 4-5 down 2%, a 4-0 down 53%, starting the year at 10,600, ending it at 5,000. A 3-5 down 3%, a 3-0 down 7%, a 2-5 down 30%, a 2-0 down 5%, a 1-8 down 12%, a 1-5 down 41%, and a 1-0 down 4%. Overall, it was on average down 15%. Its biggest gain didn't have one. Its biggest loss was a 4-0 down 53%. Overall, Silver Age did a little bit better than Bronze, but still was pretty bad. Amazing Fantasy 15 was up overall, just slightly at 1%. But the biggest loss was Journey of Mystery 83. That was down 15%. But that's where most of them were around the 10 to 15% overall.